Welcome back to the guide, Exile. After settling the dispute between the sisters Solaris and Lunaris, you'll be guided into the Blood Aqueducts. This zone is very linear and easy to navigate, and also carries roughly the same layout as the aqueducts of Act 4. You will simply want to head up and left to reach Highgate. As a side note, this is a great zone for farming levels and the Humility Divination card. Once in Highgate, head to the top right to enter the descent. In the descent, we will be heading down the face of the mountain to reach the Vastiri Desert. You will want to begin by heading up and to the right to reach the first supply hoist down the mountain. There will be one more interzone supply hoist and then the last supply hoist leading down to the Vastiri Desert entrance. These mini zones are linear, and you just have to head in the leading direction from where you came down from on each hoist. Once in the Vastiri Desert, you will want to head to the right, keeping an eye out for the waypoint in the rough center of the zone. After the waypoint, make your way up and left into the zone to reach the foothills, marked by the number 1 on the guide map, to continue the main questline. If you wish to encounter the first minor god of the act, head to the number 2 marked on the guide map. This will bring you to the entrance of the oasis blocked by the sandstorm. This can be cleared with the bottled storm quest item acquired from Pederas and Vanja after speaking with Sin in Highgate. Once you have cleared the sandstorm and entered the oasis, you will want to perform a left or right hand wall follow in this zone to encounter Shakari, Queen of the Sands. Her arena will always be on the wall of the zone, either on the top or bottom. You can tell if it is spawned on the bottom of the zone if it ends going up from the entrance. This fight is much like Yugal of Act 8. There are a lot of chaotic and high damage moves. It is recommended to have the following for this encounter. This fight has 3 main phases. In phase 1, Shakari will perform the following moves. A basic melee attack where she will strike you with her claws. Burrow. When out of range, Shakari will burrow under the ground towards your location, exploding out of it once it reaches you, dealing damage in a large area of effect. The burrow path can deal damage as well. Tail Slam. Shakari charges up her tail and slams the ground in front of her. Tail Strike. Shakari whips her tail around her right and front side, dealing an initial hit and applying a Caustic Strike. This is a debuff that lasts for 20 seconds and generates purple caustic clouds around you. Moving around will remove this debuff before its timer ends. At 75% life, phase 2 of the fight will begin. Shakari will now perform a tail burrow and add spawn. She will become untargetable, moving to the top right of the arena and burrow, only exposing her tail. She will then attack with a single sand-style Sunder and burrow to the next location, repeating the same move. During this time, Scorpion Heads will spawn that deal physical damage and poison. You must keep moving towards the tails to progress this phase until you reach the final arena. Quicksand. From this point on, areas of quicksand will spawn in the ground, and they will slow your movement and action speed for each stack and can stack to a maximum of 10. This will also be shown visually by your character sinking into the sand. Simply walk out of the quicksand areas to remove the debuff. After reaching the Swallowing Sands, phase 3 of the encounter will begin. In this phase, Shakari will perform the same moves as in phase 1, but with 2 extra moves and quicksand lining the arena. Multiple Burrow. Shakari will become untargetable and perform 4 single burrows in a row. Tail Burrow and Add Spawn version 2. Shakari will burrow under the ground to the center of the arena, becoming untargetable, only exposing her tail and spawning Scorpion Heads that can poison. Her tail will perform a sand-style Sunder. This will last for 10 seconds. After you have defeated her, teleport back to Highgate, take the waypoint to the Vastiri Desert, and continue up to the foothills. Head up and to the right to find the waypoint, and continue past to the right to enter the Boiling Lake. In the Boiling Lake, head to the top right of the zone to encounter a unique mini-boss, the Basilisk. You will know you are heading in the right direction when you see the enemies that have been turned into stone. The Basilisk will perform the following moves. A basic melee attack, a barrage of 5 projectiles, a flamethrower move that sweeps a large area in front of it with fire, and a gaze, where the Basilisk will gaze at the targets facing it, petrifying them and turning them into stone at 5 stacks of petrification. Stone form will last for 5 seconds. This can be avoided by facing away from the Basilisk. Even with all these moves, this mini-boss can be defeated fairly easily. Take the Basilisk acid that it drops, teleport back to Highgate, and take the waypoint back to the foothills. Back in the foothills, head up and to the left to reach the entrance to the tunnel. The tunnel has a familiar tile set to the mines of Act 4. Here you'll want to head up, come across the waypoint, and then continue up to reach the quarry entrance. There is a trial of ascendancy within this zone marked by the green path on the guide map. You may complete this now if desired. Making use of a movement skill, head up in the quarry, crossing its levels to reach its center and tag the waypoint. Going up to the right, there is the refinery that continues the main questline marked by the 1 on the guide map, and to the left there is an optional minor god marked by the 2 that provides a passive point. We will first look at the minor god, Garukhan, Queen of the Winds, in the Shrine of the Winds. It is recommended to have the following for this encounter. She will perform the following moves. A basic melee attack where she will strike you with her sword. A combo attack where Garukhan will strike you with her claw, bash you with their shield, and then slash her sword vertically. Summon Tornado. Garukhan summons a traveling tornado that deals physical damage hits if you stand within it. It lasts until it collides with a wall or obstacle. Dash. Garukhan will charge up and dash through a chosen target. Ambush. Garukhan becomes untargetable and invisible within her summoned Sandstorm. She will approach the target and strike them, applying a maim. The Sandstorm that she has summoned will last for 28 seconds and deals physical damage over time to anything within its area. Add Spawn. At 66 and 33% life, Garukhan will perform her ambush move and summon numerous unique adds. These will deal physical damage. Once you have defeated her, you may teleport back to town, turn in respective quests, return to the quarry via the waypoint, and continue to the right to reach the refinery. In the refinery, head out through the alleyways and buildings until you reach the final building with the mini-boss of the zone, General Addis. You can take any path to the final building, just follow the cart tracks in the buildings to the top right. General Addis will perform the following moves. A basic melee attack. Earthquake. Addis will strike the ground, dealing an initial hit, and an aftershock 2.5 seconds later. Lightning conduits. Various conduits will arc together, dealing damage to anything in between them. Lightning Earthquake. Addis is infused with lightning from the central conduit. He will then leap into the air and strike the ground, dealing an initial hit and 6 aftershocks every 1 second after. Shock Nova. Addis is infused with the lightning from the central conduit. He will then charge up and release a small AoE Shock Nova. After he is defeated, open the Theurgic Precipit machine and take the Trarthan power, teleport back to Highgate, and return to the quarry via the waypoint. Speak to Sin and give him the last of the items he requires to open the entrance to the Belly of the Beast. Much like the Belly of the Beast in Act 4, there are many twisting and winding paths. You will want to ultimately try and head up and to the top left to reach the entrance to the Rotting Core. This zone is fairly static. Just head up to the top left to reach the Black Heart, where Sin awaits you. Here, Sin will summon portals to Doedre, Maligaro, and Shavronne's spirits. They must be defeated again to completely enter the Black Heart. Each of these spirit zones will have a linear lead up to the boss, with basic monsters to kill, along with various mechanics of the respective bosses' fight spawning. For these encounters, it is recommended to have the following. Doedre's zone will have totems that lay enfeeble, temporal chains, and vulnerability curses and AoEs around them. These can be destroyed but have a fair amount of health. About every 10 seconds, Doedre's spirit will teleport in, spawning 3 green Doedre's loyal minions. These minions will leave caustic clouds on death, and Doedre's spirit will be untargetable. Once you reach the end, you will encounter Doedre's arena. Doedre Darksoul will perform the following moves. A Wand Strike. Doedre will sling 3 red projectiles at a target. A Cursed Monolith. 3 monoliths will spawn around Doedre. These will spawn in a counterclockwise order one at a time, with a spawn timer of 5 seconds. Once they are up, they will pulse every 4 seconds, applying 1 stack of their respective debuff. These debuffs can be removed by destroying their respective totem. They will then respawn in the order destroyed one at a time every 5 seconds. They apply the following debuffs. Doedre's Suffering is applied by the purple monolith, which makes the target 5% slower for each stack, with a max stack of 5. Doedre's Torment is applied by the red monolith, which makes the target take 6% increased damage for each stack, with a max stack of 5. Doedre's Withering is applied by the green monolith, which makes the target and their minions deal 5% less damage for each stack, with a max stack of 5. Warp Form. Doedre warps to the target, disappearing and reappearing within a red bubble that explodes and deals damage. She then transforms into her original bloated form, attacking with a mortar of red projectiles. Dealing damage to her pulls her back from this form faster. Screech. Doedre will warp form into the center of the arena, breaking all the monoliths and removing your debuffs. She will then screech, creating a red pulsing AoE that deals rapid hits. The monoliths will also respawn and begin applying their debuffs as soon as she starts her screech. This move can ultimately be avoided by standing behind one of the monoliths. Once you defeat her, take the portal back to the Black Heart. Maligaro's zone will have monsters that can poison and has purple blade vortexes that move around, dealing physical damage. Every 5 seconds, Maligaro's spirit will appear and attack with a large AoE cleave that deals physical damage, applies maim, and can poison. Maligaro's spirit will be untargetable. Once you reach the end, you will encounter Maligaro's arena. Maligaro the Broken will perform the following moves. A Spectral Throw. Maligaro tosses a singular throwing star in a linear path, returning to him after a certain travel distance. Combo Attack. Maligaro swipes the target with a cleave, kicks, and dashes through them. Teleport Slash. Maligaro teleports around the target, coming down upon them with a large AoE cleave. Chaos Bladestorm. Maligaro places numerous purple blades in the ground, and soon after these shoot into the sky, dealing physical and chaos damage. Add Spawn. At 33% life, Maligaro becomes untargetable and vanishes. He then spawns 5 more unique copies of himself. After these have all spawned, the real Maligaro will also join back in, adding to the confusion. After defeating the real Maligaro, take the portal back to the Black Heart. Shavronne's Sorrow will have lightning tornadoes that move in linear paths and deal lightning damage. Every 12 seconds, Shavronne's Spirit will appear, spawning 2 lightning orb minions that attack with a lightning projectile. Shavronne's Spirit will be untargetable. Once you reach the end, you will encounter Shavronne's Arena. Shavronne Unbound will perform the following moves. Stormburst. Shavronne channels a Stormburst style skill for 3 seconds and then releases, resulting in all of the existing projectiles to explode. The projectiles and explosions can both hit, with the explosions dealing more damage and having the possibility of overlapping. Lightning Orb. Shavronne forms a large lightning orb that travels slowly and hits targets within rapidly, much like the ball lightning skill. Summon Brutus. Shavronne will summon Brutus's spirit, having him slam the ground in front of him, dealing physical and lightning damage. Storm Calldowns. Shavronne will summon numerous books around her arena that will perform storm calldowns after 2 seconds. Ad Spawn. Shavronne will become untargetable and rise into the air, summoning lightning orbs that attack with projectiles. After defeating her, take the portal back to the Black Heart. Now with all the spirits defeated, Sin will open the final entrance into the Black Heart. Head down to encounter the Depraved Trinity. The Depraved Trinity is an amalgamation of the previous spirits we just encountered, Doedre, Maligaro, and Shavronne. It performs similar and altered versions of the moves that those spirits performed. It is recommended to have the following for this encounter. The Depraved Trinity will perform the following moves. A punch. The Trinity strikes at the target with a simple punch. Cleave. The Trinity will swipe in an AoE in front of itself. Slam. The Trinity winds up, charging its hand with a purple aura, and then slams it in the ground in front of itself, dealing damage in a small AoE. Chaos Bladestorm. The Trinity places numerous purple blades in the ground, soon after these shoot into the sky, dealing physical and chaos damage. Doedre's Effluence. The Trinity throws either purple or red effluent onto the ground. If stood in, you will gain a stack of this effluent every second. The purple effluent slows action speed by 7% each stack, and the red effluent increases damage taken by 10% each stack. These both have a maximum stack of 6. Storm Calldowns. The Trinity will summon numerous books and 3 curved lines that will perform storm calldowns after 2 seconds. Bubble Burst. The Trinity will toss numerous red bubbles into the arena. These will grow, exploding after 2 seconds, dealing damage in small AoEs. Ad Spawn. At 75%, 50%, and 25% life, the Trinity will retreat from the arena, spawning 6 unholy aberrations. These deal physical damage and can be killed easily. The Trinity returns almost immediately after these enter the arena. Unholy Lightning Orb. The Trinity forms a large red lightning orb that travels slowly and hits targets within it rapidly, much like the ball lightning skill. This move only occurs after the second ad spawn and lasts for 30 seconds. After the Depraved Trinity has been defeated, the arena will flood and you will be washed out to the shoreline, where Lily and Whalem await you to aid in your return to Oriath. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, Exile.